Okay, I decided that I wanted to make another post because I want to make my personal views of CPS known. I think CPS can be a good and or a bad agency. I personally have seen it work both ways. I've seen it work for good, and I have seen it work for bad. Now, like if anybody's seen my other blogs, throughout the last 5 years, I've been involved with various aspects of law enforcement, CPS, DSS, because of my oldest daughter accusing me of many, many things that were investigated and found not to be true, because my daughter has some type of, I don't know what, mental health problem. Anyway, this is not about my daughter. This is about my views of CPS and or DSS or DCFS, whatever you want to call the agency. They're the agency that is stealing kids all over the country. Now, I think if you have a caseworker that is not gung-ho to just steal kids for the federal funding, it's a good agency because there are kids out there being abused that do not have anybody, no family or anyone that would look out for them if there wasn't someone there for them. Now, with that being said, I also see a lot of abuses of the system where these caseworkers make up facts, lie to the judges, and just plain out fabricate stuff so they can legally steal these kids to adopt them out. But you know, I got to thinking about that. The bigger problem is these state agencies wouldn't be stealing kids if there wasn't federal funding to reward them. So what we need to do is organize a campaign to cut off the federal funding. I mean, think about it. The economy is a huge issue right now. They're talking about where can they make cuts? Where can they make cuts? Right here is a big area we can make cuts. We can all call our politicians. We can all put heat on them. Because it's not about child abuse. It's about the child abuse or the agency that is supposed to prevent child abuse profiting on stealing kids and lying and manipulating the system. Clogs up the court system with cases that really aren't factual because they're lying to steal the kids. So that not only clogs up the court system, then they get federal money given to adoption agencies that are contracted to DCS and all these other agencies, and then they get federal funding for that and kickbacks for that, and when they adopt a child, they get paid a thing for that. I mean, Alex Jones was on one of his blogs, he said for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed child to CPS is worth about $200,000. That is astronomical to think that one child could be worth that much money to a government agency. So why wouldn't they want to steal your child or mine? Of course they would. Because it's all about the dollar. It's all about the profit. Just like business. They're in it to make money, regardless of who they hurt. So we need to go on a campaign. I'm going to build a website. We need to stop the federal funding of these agencies for stealing kids. It makes the most sense because in every state, people are fighting on the local level trying to get their kids back. Fighting a battle in Texas, it's a year to possibly 18 months. In South Carolina, it's 2 years to possibly 2.5 years. That they drag you through the court system, lying about you the whole time, so they can take your child away, so they can put it up for adoption to get these federal kickbacks. So we need to cut off that federal funding. If they can't get any money for it, they're not going to want to do it. I mean, it makes the most sense to me because, you know, that just It's crazy any other way to sit here and say that, this agency is going to stop child abuse. They're not stopping child abuse. They're causing more abuse than they stop. How many children have to die in CPS, DSS, DCFS custody every year for somebody or a group of everybody? It can't just be one person. It has to be a lot of people to band together and say, we're going to stop this madness. Let's cut off their federal funding and make them just want to get out of this kid stealing business.